Good evening. Today is July 16th, 2026. It's 7 o'clock p.m. and welcome to the Benson's Park Advisory Committee meeting. I'd like to call to order the meeting, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And if I can have Evan, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ellen, do you mind doing?
Nope, not at all.
the
Jake,
attendance?
Present.
Susan,
Here.
Nathan,
There.
Evan,
Here?
Steve.
Just say
Steve. And Allie.
here.
Jan, Matt are excused absence.
I did not hear anything from Jan.
Okay. And Natalie and Kim. Natalie may have thought Matthew would be here. As-
Kim did reach out to me by email that she wasn't going to be able to make it tonight. So she did reach out. So she's excused as well. And let's see, Harry is also excused. Okay.
That's it, yeah. Sorry.
We'll start off with public input. Does anybody have any public input that they wanted to talk about? I don't think anybody does. So we'll move on to the next. Approval of the minutes from June 18th, 2026. You guys had a chance to read them. I did. And these are, just if you wanted to look, those are the things that I have.
Right.
Anybody want to make a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So next is old business, which we'll start off with the balance and expenditures for June. Balance was $363.76. The Benson's Park Capital Reserve Fund balance is $120,660.66 as of, that should be actually 7/9. I don't know why it didn't, so you can mark that. I will show you our report. This is the report up here, talking about the funds. I did get in the food funds for the volunteer pickup, so that's where we ended up. I thought that it was gonna be a lot less than that, but it wasn't. I think I forgot about, we have the office supplies, which office supplies also includes paper, so if you need to buy paper and ink for things like that, you know, if you have receipts on that, you can send them to me. Okay. And I think this is balance. $363.76. All right. So we'll move on. So is everybody all in favor of, does that look correct to everybody?
I would say so.
Let me make a comment. The only comment I have is that I thought that I had more, I thought that it was gonna add up to more with all the things that I bought, but it didn't. But I tried to get us down to as little as to zero as I could. But I did get a chance to buy more plates and napkins and things like that for the volunteer pickup, which I think we're gonna need that for this weekend. Okay, so we'll move on to B, update on the response to the DHR review of lead paint and mold moisture removal. I have found the paperwork, which I may need to go over that with you.
Okay.
To make sure, and I know, Jake, you were gonna take that on as well. It's a lot of papers that he,
Figured it would be.
but when I went through it, I knew exactly what I was looking at. I'm like, here it is. Now we just need to go to that last step that he was on. So at some point, maybe we could make a meeting
Yeah.
between the three of us and anybody else who wants to come.
Sure.
Yes, Steve.
I'd like to be involved in that.
Yeah,
whole-
Steve has a history job. If you want to tell us about what you,
Yeah, one of the things I did when I was working was industrial hygiene, which included lead abatement projects. So I have worked a few of them, know a little bit about it, so.
okay,
Great.
so that would be great, yeah, if you could jump on that, but I did find it today, it's a lot of reading. But I think I found the actual form of what they were looking for from the Historical Society from the state. So I think that's where he had ended and was waiting. So maybe we can contact them and help move through what he was kind of stopped on. Any other information anybody want to add to that?
No, I think we were way down the road. It just kind of stalled when
Yep.
you started
Yep,
feeling sick and stuff.
yeah,
But we'd already had quotes and everything, so it's just a matter of getting the information back and forth to pull the trigger on it.
Wayne touched upon this, but has the committee applied for any grants? There are grants for restoration of historical buildings. Lead abatement is one of the things specifically mentioned.
well, honestly, I would say, I think we did get approval for funds to be spent. I believe that's where he was. But again, I can't clarify that. I'd have to go back, and that's why,
Yeah, I don't believe there was any grants applied for at this point.
yeah.
Okay. And we have the money to pay for the whole project? Are we still gonna have to do something?
Not the whole project. I mean, this is like a,
This step of
Piece
the
by-
project,
this
yeah.
step.
We had reached out and got 3 different quotes, and we reviewed all those quotes, and we selected the one that made the most sense, and we got approval to proceed on this part, the remediation part. But then we were just making sure that we were collaborating with the Historical Society and making sure we do it the right way. And, you know, Jack had a number of conversations back and forth with them, and they were passing paperwork back and forth. And then that's when he started to get sick, and the project kind of hit pause. And he had all the paperwork and the documents and the conversation, so it was a
Yeah.
little, like, I was trying to help, but I was very adjacent to it. I wasn't involved directly.
yeah.
But funding the entire project is not gonna be an issue? Or is-
This portion of the
This
project,
portion.
but, I mean, there are
Yeah, there's gonna
many
be more
legs.
steps.
This is a
Yeah.
phase,
Yeah.
but this phase has been sort of signed off.
Yeah, to move forward, we'll have to go for more approvals
Yeah.
to
In the
to
town.
do the whole thing with the Board of Selectmen.
For sure.
But it helps that we can, we'll be able to start using the capital reserve too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So it's good news.
Yeah.
It's good
definitely.
news.
It's a step in the right direction.
So, you know, if we can make an appointment at some point to get together for that,
That'd be
and you
it-
guys can help me sift through.
yeah, it's just, when you have to deal with DHR, it gets real expensive real quick.
Yeah. So, thank you, guys. Okay, so that's all we have on that. So we'll move on to D, update on proposed charter changes of Benson's Park Advisory Committee. Jake?
Yeah, so I went through it all again. Our last revision was sort of mid-late March. So I had some notes from the March meeting and several meetings, put those in there. And then Heidi Jacoby had sent the Sustainability Committee's charter.
Right.
Which at that time, I don't think it was finally approved. I'm not sure if that has been approved by the BOS or not.
Do you know that?
Well, the Sustainability Committee is no longer, so
Right.
Okay,
there technically is no charter.
gotcha.
Fair enough. So we used the budget section of that, of that document as a model because Roy had commented on it and we wanted similar language in ours.
Yep,
So that's been added to this now.
great.
I tweaked it a little bit just to apply more directly to us. But it's in there as well as the other language. If anyone else has feedback, I'm happy to make other edits or whatever is needed to put it through. I mean, I think it's close. So we just need to sort of give it a blessing and then we can vote on it.
Okay. I mean, I think at this point, I've worked with you and we worked through it.
Yeah.
And I think that there was those few corrections and I feel pretty confident at this point, being that Mr. Sorensen is wanting us to, to hand this in at this point.
Yeah.
I think we should make a vote to, tonight to pass it in.
Great.
Does anybody
Do we
want to
do we
pass it into Mr. Sorensen to the Board of Selectmen for review?
how do we do that without them approving the finance role?
Well, we
Would
can.
it be a
we-
two-prong approach?
Yeah, we'll get this part in, and
And
then that way he can see where we're going, and then we can also ask
Yeah.
for
To add,
that
okay.
to add. But at this point, I think we can move forward.
Sure.
I mean, we talked about it, we looked at it last time, there was only a few corrections that Heidi had, and I think you did a nice job doing that, thank
Thank
you. This isn't an easy task.
There's a
writing
lot of
this up.
verbiage for sure.
So I appreciate you doing that. Does anybody want to entertain?
I'll entertain a motion to send the charter to the Board of Selectmen for review and approval, as well as to add the position of treasurer/financial coordinator to the charter.
I'll make the motion.
Well, she made the motion. Do you
Well,
wanna-
she entertains, I make, and then it's a second.
Any
I'll second it.
additional
You guys are
discussion?
better than I am.
Any additional
All right.
discussion?
Anybody else want to, or have questions about it, or?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Thank you, Ellen. All right, and thank you, Jake.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And if anyone has any edits, they can feel free to
Yeah.
email them to me and I can make an amendment, we can resubmit it. I don't mind being the quarterback of that.
Yeah, you do a nice job, I appreciate it. All right, so our charter moves on for approval.
All right. That was easy.
Yes. Well, I think, we've been back and forth and
Yeah, quite a bit, yeah.
so I think, we had minimal changes to make and
Yeah.
so I think it's, ready to go for now. I
Great.
mean, he might make some
Yeah, he'll make edits and
edits
we'll,
and say that,
Sure.
I need this or that and we can, make changes if need be.
I'm sure the board will have some questions, or they'll want a couple of little edits done to it, so it's good to get it to them sooner rather than later, so they can, kick it back to you, you can make any edits, any changes,
Yep,
and you'll get it done a lot quicker.
yep. And then if we need to add, which I think the treasurer position or,
yeah, I made a note of that already,
Yeah.
so just once we
Yeah, I
know what
think-
the right language is there, I can add it
Yeah.
in. No problem.
all right, we'll move on to the next one, great. All right, so E. I'm gonna pass this on to my friend over here. The update on proposed charter, wait, I already did that one. Update on historical building postmarkers for Hazelton Barn, office, kitchen, train station, the $4,500 donation from Roger Pellerin, Gate City Monuments, Board of Selectmen and DPW approved. But you're here, so I'm really excited, and you have more information, and I do have some pictures that I pulled up. Find them.
So last week, we got the holes dug for the monuments. That wasn't an easy task, because everybody digged his holes. So we ended up having the little holes we ended up having to dig with an excavator. But the holes are prepped, ready to go. We spoke with Mr. Pellerin this morning, as a matter of fact, and he plans on having them completed this week and installed on Monday, Tuesday at the latest. We'll have personnel there with them to help with the installation and backfill, clean everything up, and have it ready to go for you.
These are some pictures. I just happened to be there that day when I went
Perfect.
over to the park.
Yep.
I wasn't going to see them. I'm like, oh, can I take your picture? So there they are. There's your staff drilling. This is what they drill. I can't believe they
Yeah,
drilled
they did.
that.
They were only able to do one hole with that. We ended up bringing the excavator in for the other two.
Yeah.
We hit couple of big boulders.
Yeah, I was surprised. They were like over here, and I remember Dick Empey saying,
Oh, yeah.
they're gonna hit some hard rock over there.
They did. I don't think there was any material left to put back in the hole on that one. We gotta bring a load in with us to backfill again.
So, thank you, and thank your team very much. This is gonna be a great event. So I'm just gonna put this up here just to remind people that we're having the Benson Park Centennial Historical Marker Unveiling Walking Tour, celebrating 100 years of Benson's Park. Join us for an informational walking tour as we unveil the historical granite markers honoring 3 of Benson's Park cherished landmarks. We have the Hazelton Barn, the kitchen and office building, and the train station. This will be on Saturday, July 25th, starting at 10 a.m. We will start at, if people want to gather and then walk up from the lower parking lot, from the kiosk, we'll start at the train station, which we will have, we're hoping Mr. Pellerin will be able to attend. I don't know if you'll be able to attend or if you're busy that weekend. And other members of the town will be there as well, and possibly the Historical Society. The building will be open, so that people can take a look inside. And I don't know, Jake, if you were
I'm planning
able
on going, yeah.
to, speak upon, because you've been mostly in that building, and, Jay, I'm sure you've been in there.
Oh, I've been in there a few times.
But it's got a lot of history, and I have some pictures to show you guys later that I found amongst the things. This is one of them that I thought, if people don't know, this is the actual train station where the animals used to come in on, and I found these pictures. This one is pretty interesting.
Yeah, do we have access to that display that Jack made for the?
I can get a hold of that, yeah.
Yeah, because that was great. It had a
I
whole
mean,
history.
look at the
on it.
giraffe.
A bunch of pictures. Yeah.
And then there's another one. Here, you can see that they are coming out of the train,
Yeah.
Yep.
the train station, the original train station.
Awesome.
Which,
So,
and that was originally located right up on Central Street, right where the Grange building is.
Okay.
Railroad tracks used to go through there, and that was the Hudson station.
but it's just funny looking at that. Nashua, New Hampshire, from Germany. That's how far that giraffe came from.
Yep.
Um,
There's a lot of good reading about
oh, yeah.
the animals and back when it first started.
Yeah. So I'm excited, and I hope people will enjoy coming in and having a presentation. These markers are special because it tells everybody, like, these buildings, are on the historical registry for the state of New Hampshire. So hopefully we'll be able to get the train station museum up and going. So if more people visit and, want to find out more, can come onto our website. We do have all that information there too. Then we have the kitchen and office building that we're going to open up. That is currently up and running, where we have some of our volunteers have luncheons there during volunteer pickups. And we also use the bottom of the building. I believe that's the kitchen area where we have the shovels and things like that for all of our volunteers to use during the volunteer pickup days. So it's a really interesting building, and I've heard a lot about the piece of it that they took off. What was that called? The pavilion or where they had like the beer pavilion or something like that.
Like a beer garden.
Yeah, a beer garden. So it's interesting. So we'll be talking a little bit about that, and people can go inside and see that building as well. And then we have the Hazelton Barn, which I actually got my first tour of in there by Dick Empey last weekend. It's pretty cool inside there, and he did a great job giving me a tour and explaining the history of this building, and it's very interesting. So that, we'll have that open as well. So again, rain date, it's July 25th, 10 o'clock. Rain date will be Sunday, July 26th. And again, meet at the entrance in the main parking lot. But we will start off at the train station. That will be our first unveiling. So I hope everybody can make it. And thank you for the DPW for working with, getting these holes dug and working with Gate City Monuments to make this happen. It's very special.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on. Anybody else have any other information they wanted to add to that? Okay, so then we'll move on to F, update on the Lions Pride Restoration Project. I believe, I don't really have any other information other than that it was approved by Mr. Sorensen that they can start working on the lions, and they have been working on the lions, cleaning them. So, we'll keep with updates. I did have a picture of what the lion looked like way back when. Those are the other ones. Where's that? Oh, we don't want that. No, I'll have to keep looking for it. Anyway, so the lions will, we're still working on those. But if you do come for the tour, you'll get to see the lions because they are currently in the kitchen. So you will get to see the lions and how they are at this time. So, all right, G. All right, the Board of Selectmen update on Alligator Alley, bridge placement, approval of donation from the town engineer, Elvis Davina, and I am going to, because you have some new information, and I'm going to hand it over to Jay from the DPW.
So I handed out a collage of pictures here showing that in the last 2 days, we've installed the piers for the new bridge, along with renderings of what the new bridge is going to look like. We ended up having to move the bridge over a little bit to get it further away from the dam because, again, we ran into boulders. But it'll be real nice when it's done. It was originally supposed to be starting to be built next week, but that's been put off. The builder himself, the gentleman who's donating the labor and materials, had to push it off a week or so. But he will be starting on the actual bridge itself very shortly.
Well, here's some pictures I have up here of what it will look like. And I do want to, if I have his name.
Mike Lacasse,
Yes, Mr. Lacasse.
MR Lacasse Homes.
Yep. So his donation of a $10,000 in labor and materials in putting in the pedestrian bridge at Benson's Park. So the DPW has been working hard with them to put in the footings, and I appreciate that. You guys have been really working hard.
Oh, yes.
It's been really good. I can't believe that we're getting this many things done this one summer. This is awesome. But if you want to explain a little bit about the bridge and what the materials will be, I'll show you the other picture.
And may I ask what you've already installed? These are called footers?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So the bridge itself, the frame of the bridge is going to be pressure treated lumber, 2x12 pressure treated lumber. The decking is gray composite boards that will not rot, and the railings are actually metal railings. They're black powder coated metal railings. So we expect this bridge to last and be there quite a while. It should be as maintenance-free as you can get.
Yep.
Obviously, everything requires maintenance, but
Yeah.
once the bridge is in place, we'll redo the walkways going to it. It'll have, the paved side will be paved all the way up to the bridge. The dirt side will also have an asphalt apron coming off of it to stop in, so there's no erosion right at the bridge joint.
So if anybody doesn't know where this is in the park, it's right near Alligator Alley is what they call it. And I'm trying to think of the name of the pond behind it. Think of it. There's a name for that little pond.
Yeah, it
that
it
goes-
slips my mind at the moment. It's
Mine
right
too.
below the two overlooks.
Yeah. But
And it
if people
it
remember.
had an, like an African name.
Yeah, I can't think of it either. If I had the map, I could figure it out. But this is gonna be beautiful, and I think this would be much better than the other plan that we had that probably would have needed maintenance over the years, because it was going to be a wooden bridge.
Yes.
So I think this looks beautiful,
Yeah, that's great.
and thank you again for taking the time to, for staff to do that, and thank you for the donation of, what's his name again?
Mike Lacasse.
Mike Lacasse, Mr. Lacasse
Yes.
of MR Homes LLC, located in Hudson, New Hampshire. So thank you very much for doing that. And it's it's 6 foot wide?
6 feet wide, 22 feet long.
Yep. So it will be good if people, are handicapped and need to get over the bridge, or, nice walking path, that, definitely will help in that area too. Thank you again. Anybody have any questions or things about the bridge?
Nope.
All right, so we'll move on to H, which I'm very glad that you're here tonight again, Jay, because we're talking about reviewing the ordinances listed on the park usage form. And that comes to you. So if people aren't familiar, if you have a party of 15 or more,
15 up to 50.
yep, 15 up to 50, you need to fill out a park usage form, which you can find that on the Benson's Park website under forms. And we were talking about possibly updating that, because now we have e-bikes that come through the park. And we have music that is too loud. A lot of people play music, and that's not what our park is for. So Evan has been kind of researching other parks and things like that, just trying to come up with how can we make this more, I don't even know how to pronounce it, like strongly suggested. Is that a good way to put it? So Evan?
Sure, yeah. So since our last meeting, Sue had asked me to look specifically at our existing rules and regs and suggest any potential updates to that based on some of the research I've been doing. So I did draft that up and sent her a copy. Really not significant changes, and I can send a copy of this to all of you, but really the things that are different than that existing version that I hit on, as we've talked a lot about e-bikes, so I did include, specifically included e-bikes along with the existing language talked about regular bicycles, skaters, and skateboarders, so I included e-bikes in that, just to make sure that was clear. I know the issue of posting of signs has come up recently.
Yeah.
So I did include that specifically. You can see under that no section, solicitation was already on there. So my suggested edit was just solicitation or posting of signs. We're really talking about signs that are advertisements for businesses,
And-
that sorts of things.
And I will just add in that I have seen people, they post signs about birthday party this way, and they nail it to a tree. Or
Yeah,
staple it to a tree. I've seen that.
And that would be kind of double
Yeah.
violation, because they talk about no kind of damage to plants and plants and trees and that sort of thing. So that one was in there.
The no fires or charcoal grills, that was already in the existing park usage form. It was not on our signage previously, so I would suggest adding that just to be clear about that. That's consistent with pretty much all the parks in the area. The other two suggested additions I had on here, one was around kind of the sale of food or other goods. So I suggested putting that on there. The specific language I said was no sale of food/goods without appropriate permit from the town.
Okay.
Certainly, the deed says that kind of the sale of things is okay in conjunction with specific approved events. So like we can't like start a restaurant in the Grilla Cage, but if there was food being sold for a specific event, the deed would allow that. But certainly the town would require appropriate licensing, so hawker peddler licenses, that sort of thing. So I think that was a good thing to be explicit about. And then the last thing was around music. So I know that came up a couple weeks ago, a complaint about loud music. So I put something in that I felt kind of mirrored the existing town ordinances around noise. So basically the town ordinances around noise are very specific about like decibel levels, but really it is in a park setting, the sustained allowed noise would really be kind of typical ambient noise, so kind of the comparable to like light traffic, normal conversations, that sort of thing. So anything beyond that would only be permitted kind of with approval from the town as part of an event. So for example, if we're doing a Cage concert, certainly that music is going to be louder than what would be typically allowed, but kind of because it's part of an approved event. So hopefully that will kind of mesh up with the town ordinances and hit on some of the pressure points that we've been seeing.
So, I'm gonna ask you this, Jake, because this is the form. So for people, if you're not familiar, if you go on the Benson's Park website, here's the park usage form that you would fill out and send to the Department of Public Works. And then this is the rules that are on there for now. Oh, there's more don'ts. Don't feed or touch or handle, relocate or remove wildlife. Yep. So this was another thing: damaged structures, stone walls, wildlife, trees, or plants. So again, where people come in and they want to tell people that, hey, we're having a party, come this way, and then they staple it to a tree, that would be considered damaging.
Correct. I actually believe there's a state law against mounting signs on trees to begin with.
Yep.
But definitely it's never allowed in a park.
Yep. And how I was, failure to comply may result in a fine. So for instance, if they did have, a group and then they did one or two of these things and there was a patrol officer biking around, he could, fine them $25.
Correct.
Just
Yeah,
make sure
they-
that's.
I believe they could write a fine or summons for even just for disturbing the peace.
So when it says fishing is permitted in accordance with New Hampshire regulations, I don't know the fishing regulations, but that might be something to go over because I see a lot of people fishing. But I think it's a certain age.
Yeah, you have to, any New Hampshire regulation as far as you have to have a fishing license. You can only fish your certain seasons. So there are certain seasons for ice fishing and regular fishing. So you have to follow all those regulations. Because it's not a private piece of property. It's public property, so it has to be treated the same way.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other things that, one thing that I do have on here that I wanted to bring up, I went walking this past Sunday evening around 8 o'clock, and there were 3 parties that had not used the park usage form. And the music was loud, the trash was overflowing. They had done a balloon gender reveal where confetti was all over the place. balloons and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, I went over very nicely and explained, because they're not from here, they haven't been to the park before. They were very good about, as soon as I had mentioned the rules and that they didn't have a permit, I didn't ask them to pick up, but I said, please remember to do this, but they did pick up and left. But I did have a picture. Over here, I gotta find it. This was what I had sent to the DPW. This is what was going on. And this was just 3 of the dumpsters, where you can see boxes and pizza boxes and trash over here. And just to remind people, if you see that the trash is overflowing, if you did do the park usage form, you would know enough that you could go to the dumpster and put the remaining that doesn't fit in the trash in the dumpster. Or take it home with you. It's a trash in, trash out. But we don't have, I don't know if you want to talk about this, we don't have like a daily service to the park.
Right, the barrels are picked up on Mondays and Thursdays. Usually any overflow, our guys have to come in, like after these parties happened this weekend, our guys came in Sunday night and actually cleaned up the mess that was left, because it wasn't only these barrels, it was barrels up by the gorilla cage and the
Yep.
playground.
Yep.
And they were all overfilled. So we had to come in and take care of everything, because if not, you know, there's a lot of wildlife in the park. So they would have just dragged everything all over the place. And that's one of the reasons why we have the park usage form, so we can limit the amount of people going in at a time. One of the things that I think we need to look into is having more clear signage at the entrances to the parks about the same park usage rules.
Right.
So when people are coming in the parking lot, they can see that, you know, if you're didn't fill out the park usage form, you really can't have a party there, because overloading the park just destroys everything. It destroys the lawn, it destroys, you know, people end up just overcrowding, it creates a mess. You end up disturbing everybody, and turns into the overcrowding makes it not a nice experience for people.
You know, and like you said, the animals, I mean, this isn't good for them. This
No.
could kill the animal and the wildlife.
Especially balloon pieces and confetti.
Yep. So,
And I would think any signage we have, we should duplicate the places where people gather also.
Absolutely.
yeah, I agree with you, and have like a sign at the A-frame that, and
Yeah.
at the,
Exactly.
That's what I was gonna
the
say.
amphitheater, and by the playground.
By the playground.
That's like another huge area.
Yep.
And if it doesn't fit, bring it to the dumpster, like
You know, we
And
don't
where the
wanna-
dumpster is.
yeah, dumpster's located in the parking lot.
We don't want to pollute the park with signage, but I think we need to start adding a couple of signs here or there just to remind people.
Yeah. So maybe we could think about, trying to figure out how that signage and what that
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah, we can work on that. And
Okay. All right, so do you agree with Evan's
Yeah, I think
additions?
the one thing I would add is no motorized vehicles in general.
Yeah, that is on there. Yeah,
That is
that
on
was
there.
already on there.
Okay.
The one
I saw
actually-
no motorized boats.
Yeah, and that's actually, it's good that you're here. So no motorized vehicle was already on there. No motorized votes
Yeah.
was separately on there.
Yep. Because you can,
Oh, it says
You're-
motorized vehicles are permitted only in the designated parking areas.
correct. Because the parking area is still part of the park,
Yep.
but it is a designated area for vehicles. That's the only
So
place
you're
that's allowed.
saying add it to the no?
Yeah, no, motorized vehicles in designated parking lot only, if that's not already on there.
And maybe
It
under
says
no, you
here.
could say no motorized vehicles
Right,
outside of
the
designated parking areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
And I
like,
think
Because
I
that-
did that in that draft I sent you. I added it to the no section just to
Yeah,
make
just to
that clear.
balance it out.
And e-bikes are motorized vehicles, believe it or not. I mean, it's they're considered a motorized vehicle. So it's supposed to be passive recreation only, and passive recreation means, you know, nothing with a motor on it, nothing electric.
Okay. Which, we do have another guy that goes around and he's like on the one-wheel thing. Have you seen him?
Yes, that's actually not even supposed to be in the park.
It's not a Segway anymore. That's even,
Yeah, it's a uni-wheel or something, they
Yeah.
call it.
so I just got an information from Judy Brulette. I love how,
The beacon is going off.
Yep. Judy said, how about placing them on the barrels?
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to put a sign up, it's funny, Judy, we're on the same page. I was gonna say, it could be really beneficial to put signs on the barrels, something you could like industrial Velcro on or whatever, if we don't wanna damage them. That say, please do not overfill, or overflow goes to dumpster in the main
Right,
parking
because
area.
what happens is it's part of our automated trash collection.
Mm-hmm.
So when the truck picks the barrel up and it starts dumping it into the truck, it'll start.
Yeah, it'll go
Again,
everywhere.
it'll be all over the ground, and the driver has to get out and pick it up, or DPW has to go in and pick
And
it up again.
I've definitely seen that happen just in neighborhoods alone. So
Right,
you
and-
don't want it happening in the park because it's a pain. But if you use the industrial Velcro, it can also be easily removed in like so that you don't damage property
Right.
that may not be ours, or some situation like that, or if you need to move it from
Right.
one bin to another bin or whatever you need.
Yeah, we can look into a couple of different ways to do
Yeah.
it. I think even if we get stickers to put on the barrels.
Stickers are great too.
That's
And
a
then
good one.
you can also, you know how we have those like little signs that will say like pollinator garden or something, and
Yeah.
it's pretty short. I think those are not intrusive. So
Right.
if you put like parties of blah blah must sign form, and it's like a neutral color of green or brown, it could blend in with the scenery. Be there for people looking to set up a space.
We
But
put a QR code on that too, so they could
Yeah.
scan it on their phone and it takes them right to the,
that, yeah,
Link for
exactly,
the-
you could do that.
Yeah, we especially at entrances and whatnot.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
way, instead of having a big sign,
Yeah, keep it small.
You could keep it like as a small sign that kind of blends in with the scenery. It's not really in your face, but it's definitely something that you would notice if you are planning on spending any time in that area.
yeah, a little sign like that says for more information, click on a QR code.
Yeah, gathering parties,
Yep.
like for more information. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll entertain any ideas you guys have for them. We can come up with something.
Okay. So circling back over to the ordinances and things like that, so Evan, if you could, what you have, the new one, if you could send that to, with the additions of the
Yeah.
new thing, so then maybe what we can do is update this form online.
Yes.
So if you wanna send that to me, send it to Jay, and send it to Sorensen too?
Yeah, just to make sure we don't have to get any changes on it approved.
If you could do that, and that way we can move forward to making this change so that it will be on the new form. And then, I would like to, if anybody would like to entertain the motion of looking into making those signs with a QR code of where they can easily access, the park usage form.
I'll make that motion.
May we have some discussion?
Yes, we can have some discussion.
Just that sign particularly, or all the other signs about?
Well, actually, you know what, you're right, I think.
The
The
multiple, I would think we're gonna need multiple signs.
Yeah, the signs for the trash barrels, I like that one, I think that would be easiest on the trash barrels. Then, a sign, like a smaller one, like
Yeah, you can make it smaller than an 8.5
a
by 11.
smaller one that
Make it like
people
a,
can see, but yet it's in front of each area,
Mhm.
or in the front of the park.
With the QR code, but
With
then
the QR
also
code That will
some,
bring them to the Benson's Park
Form.
website, that they can,
So park usage and regulation signs for multiple locations.
yes.
Mhm.
you know, I can bring that up to the Board of Selectmen if, because again, we do have to, any signage, we have to get approved by them. So, that's why I'm saying if we want to entertain for these signs.
To make
To make signs.
signs for trash barrels, QR code, and the usage
usage.
and regulations.
Yes, usually regulations.
I'll put forth the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. It's a good thing you came today. All right. Okay, so the next one is I. Safety in the parking lot near the Friends of Hudson Dog Park. When entering and going down the hill, the lower lot, could the DPW put a speed bump sign? I, as well as Steve, were at the BOS meeting, and we talked about a lot of different things that we thought could happen. It kind of went on about sidewalks being put in, and then, but that wouldn't be the DPW. Now we're talking about the, is it the highway?
State DOT, as far as
State DOT.
anything out on Kimball Hill Road.
So, they're going to continue to look into this. So it's not like we're not gonna do anything, but it's gonna take a little while to look at that. Then we talked about, which I had pictures, let me see if we still have them. Oops. So, I'm gonna just show the picture, entering in the park, and then I'm gonna go to you, because he has a solution.
Nice. This was the number one thing I was gonna ask about. Well,
So, as you come into the park,
first thing.
as you drive in,
Mm-hmm.
you would turn here, and this would go to the senior center and HGTV, and then you continue down the road, and you can't see the dog park. So, we came up with a solution.
So in the sheets I distributed tonight that you can't see online, all that, the trees and brush on the right-hand side of the picture, behind the rocks, we're gonna be taking the majority of that brush out, along with some dead trees, and there's actually a couple dead overhanging birch trees that need to come out anyways.
Yep.
And we're gonna create a perfect line of sight from the dog park entrance, the gated entrance itself, the pedestrian entrance. So even when you're inside the pedestrian entrance, you will be able to see all the way up to Kimball Hill Road. We'll keep that maintained, so you won't have any problems with that. So, yeah, right there.
So like this tree, right?
Yeah, that tree and everything all the way up that side, probably 15 to 20 feet in, we're actually gonna be,
Like all that,
yes, correct.
okay.
That's all gonna be gone, so while you're even inside the fence, you'll be able to see all the way up the roadway. And then that means people can see you all the way down the roadway.
That should help
Yes.
quite a bit, yeah.
Yes.
That, and that'll definitely help. That is something that was brought up in our meeting yesterday, that we wanted to look into how we can open up the visibility there, because we can't see backing out. If you're parked closer towards the entrance
Right.
of the larger part of the park, and you go to back out, even if you have a rear view camera, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
But that'll help for sure in a good chunk of situations, I think. I will say that I still do feel that if we could have a speed bump placed between the entrance to the senior center and before we hit the parking lot, even if it is one of those removable ones, because I
right
do
here?
see speeding coming out of this
Yeah.
parking lot as well. So it's not always entering that is the hazard. It can also be exiting. And people seem to be more worried about their cars than paying attention to what's going on. So hit that bump.
Yeah, the first thing we're gonna do is correct the line of sight.
Yeah. And that'll
A lot
be
of times,
perfect.
that alone makes a big difference, because as of right now, you can't see a pedestrian until they're right on the edge of the pavement.
Yeah, and that's
So
when you're
once-
incoming.
Once we cut that all back, and now, even if somebody had a little bit more speed than they should coming down that hill, once they see they'll end up seeing a pedestrian long before the pedestrian enters the roadway.
Yes.
And a lot of times, that alone will make a big difference.
And I think that'll help in the situation of incoming traffic as well as backing out of the area where we're
Correct.
parked in front of
So
the dog park.
In instances like this, we rather than, rather than throwing everything at it at once, we do everything in phases. That way you're not going overboard. So we'll do that first. That's the easiest thing to do to start with, is get that all cleared out. And then once that's cleared out, and then we'll keep that all maintained, we'll go from there. If things don't, if something hasn't improved, then we'll take the next step.
Okay. And in that situation, like, the other concern is the people leaving the park. So in the evenings, because a lot of the dog park patrons will stay closer towards closing time, because we park very close to exit.
Right.
We do see people peeling out, teenagers doing crazy things. There are some really intense and not driving appropriate behavior leaving the park. I'm not always seeing a lot of people coming in hot. Sometimes I do, but it is a lot leaving as well. So I just want to bring that to our attention, so that I think this is going to be a wonderful first step.
And that, so like anything, once, like you put a speed bump in, once they go over the speed bump, they go slow over that, and then they're just gonna hit the gas again. So it only slows them down for
It
just a
depends on
little
the
bit. Just like
person.
when you're in a regular parking lot, like you slow down for the speed bump, and then you always speed back up again, till you hit the next one.
So, another thing just to throw out, like here, this is another worrisome, we have, people coming in and out of the senior center.
Yep.
So you got somebody beelining it up here, if they have a speed bump, it's gonna slow them down, if somebody's trying to come in and out of this, this area too.
Yeah, maybe clearing the brush that was mentioned is gonna allow the people coming out of the senior center to see the car coming up.
Yeah, it'll definitely open up visibility, and it's a great first step.
Yeah, visibility is the first thing.
And I think that once that's been addressed, we will see, how much improvement that really.
'Cause you're never gonna stop everybody.
Oh, no, absolutely
You know what I'm
not.
saying?
Should there be a speed limit posted in there? Because it's probably like 15 or something, right?
It should be.
I'd be
It should be
Five.
like,
It
I
should
was gonna
be
say,
5.
we can look into doing that. The biggest problem is it's all ledge going up and down that hill. So
Right.
installing signs, like every time we install a sign, like today I just had to straighten out the one that says no overnight parking. Because we can't get it in the ground any further, so the wind just keeps loosening it up, knocking it down. There's just no way to get it in further without actually drilling through rock to do it.
Yeah.
So anytime we try to put a sign in on that, especially that side of the road, it's near impossible to get it where it's gonna stay and look good and not, lean over every other week.
That, and I'm not gonna lie, to get your driver's license, you do need to know the speed limit of a parking lot. So I would hope most people know that it's supposed to be 5 miles
It's just
an hour.
another one of those deterrents.
I know,
that-
sometimes
Yeah,
it can
like,
help,
whoa,
but
geez.
Exactly, I mean, we can definitely,
they know it for the test, they forget it for the next 60 years, so.
and sometimes it does work, too many signs,
aren't
sign
gonna
pollution,
read
people
them.
just don't pay attention to
yeah.
them. But, if we add one more, like, you've got the senior center sign, and then the one sign, it says no overnight parking. I think if we added one more sign, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So
I
if
think
we add a speed limit sign,
You could honestly
that
put
could
it,
probably help.
you could put it right under the senior center sign, and attach it to the same pole, so you're not even putting in extra work.
Yeah.
You could just put it under there. I've seen stacked signs like that, and it does kind of draw your attention without being too
Too intrusive.
too intrusive or having to like adjust your eyes to read multiple things. So
Right.
True.
that could be a good solution, just a small speed limit sign under there.
Okay. I like that idea.
It all helps.
Everything helps.
Yep.
But I want to say thank you
Thank
for.
you, yeah.
Yes, thank
and-
you.
Yeah, no, that's definitely huge.
And I also wanted to ask, when do you think we'll be able to, like, what is the time frame?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
Hooray!
Yes. It's like I'm doing it on Monday, it's just gonna
Right.
cut that down.
So, yeah, we're finishing up the bridge piers on Monday, and we're gonna be working on that Monday. And they're also, while they're there, finishing the erosion swale.
Oh, the swale.
So the reason why we stopped where we did is that piece of ledge that's sticking out right on the edge of the roadway. So we will be jackhammering the top off of that rock
Swale.
so we can continue the swale down along the edge of the roadway all the way down to the gate.
I had one of the swale, but I'm looking for it.
And then patching the existing road up that's been slowly getting deteriorated.
Kinda, you can see the swale here, but then
Correct.
it ends about there.
Just about halfway down, and then
Yeah.
the road starts to deteriorate quite a bit. And-
It is getting bad. That is another,
So they're working on, once they finish the brush, they'll be working on that. So they're gonna be there Monday and Tuesday.
okay,
Wow.
perfect.
That's great.
I mean, you guys are really just knocking my checklist out. Thank you.
So, yeah, this is probably the last week we have before townwide paving starts, so we're trying to get a lot of things out of the way.
Yeah,
And then once the paving crews are in, we're gonna be busy for quite a while.
well, this is gonna be great, and this is a nice little diagram here, cause you can kinda see in red where the swale will continue down,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't, the parking lot area doesn't get.
Right, and we'll grade off that area behind the swale again, make, so, and just like the first part of the swale, it's not a deep swale, it's just enough to keep the water in it, to go down to where it needs to, so you can drive in and out of it relatively easily, and we can maintain it in the wintertime.
Yeah, and just like reduce the amount of erosion over time.
Correct.
So that'll be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's come a long way from where we started already.
I know, I know.
It really has.
So, well,
Back when I built the first parking lot, when that was just all rocks and trees, and we got that torn out, and it was a gravel parking lot, and we used to actually use field lime to make the stripes in the parking lot before we
Yeah.
got it paved.
well, thank you very much. I don't, it's been great.
That
Should
takes
come
care
to
of-
all of our meetings.
I know.
We'll be like, yes,
Hoorah.
wonderful.
That takes care of letter K as well.
I know,
so
we
skip
can,
that
we
one.
can move on that one. The Erickson Foundation Solutions, they're having their, I think I had told you this, they're having their volunteer day. And I had sent them several, projects. It seems the one that he is most interested in, and wanted to do a walkthrough, and I don't know if you wanted to be there for that, was in the basement of the, I think that's the kitchen, or is it the office building?
office building.
The office building.
Yeah, where the stone foundation, where
Yeah.
you get water leaking in.
So he was gonna come, and I haven't picked a date yet with him, because I haven't heard back when he wanted to do that.
I would love to be there with them, just to,
Okay, all right, so.
because I think that could be a good collaboration between
Yes,
Public Works and Erickson
yeah,
to
and
to
I
get
know,
that taken care of.
I know that other stuff had been done in the past to hopefully, but the water's still coming in, so I think, if we can get his crew down there to fix that up, and we'll have a wonderful volunteer day for their 90 employees, so. we
Absolutely. And
Appreciate that.
actually, while we're talking about walls, the wall around the tiger cage
Yes,
we're getting quotes to have that fixed also.
yes. I think Natalie had brought that up at the last meeting and stuff.
Yeah,
but-
we've already had that on the radar for a few months. Just the way it's built, we feel it's better to have somebody else come in and take care of it.
Yeah,
But getting people to get back to us for such a small job is a little bit tough, but we are working on that
We
one.
can't quote that, can we?
What's that?
I can't quote that, can I?
What, your company?
Yeah, I don't know.
To fix that?
I don't know if that's
Get-
allowed or not.
Talk to me on Monday.
I guess, yeah.
Let me talk to Mr. Sorensen
Okay.
to make sure it's not a conflict of interest.
Yeah, that would be the only
we
thing.
need, our guys just aren't comfortable with that, repointing and replacing that type of granite. There is another wall in the park that our guys will be doing within the next couple of weeks, repairing.
The bridge?
I think it's part of the bridge, not, I'm trying to think of the pictures. I just saw the pictures briefly, but we are repairing a couple other walls
Because I did
in the
see
near future.
going over the bridge, but that was one of the ones that I asked Erickson and Son as well, but I
Right.
haven't gotten back. They haven't, I don't know what what he will decide and what can do. So when he comes, you and I will,
Yeah, I would love to push him towards the office building.
Yes.
That foundation, I believe, is much more important than
Yeah.
the other walls.
yeah, I agree. So I'll give you a call when I find out, but I know they're planning on doing it this fall. I think that's the timeline.
Okay.
When they'll come for their volunteer day.
Excellent.
So we already talked about K, so we'll move on. Update on the Benson's Park volunteer cleanup in July. We had a lot of people at the volunteer cleanup. We had a lot of new volunteers.
So this one is about last month's.
Oh, last month. Yes, did I put July 18th?
But, so June and July were
June.
both on the 18th then?
Easy
Can't
mistake.
remember. Are they? I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, let me
Might
figure
mess
that out, but
too.
we're talking
here it
July.
is.
June,
June.
June
yeah, June
20th, okay.
Yep. Put that. I put July. Anyways, for the June 20th, it went really well. I was at the volunteer pickup. We had a lot of volunteers, a lot of new volunteers, a lot of young people. We had the Girl Scouts there. I thank them for coming out. A lot of families, which I want to include that I really love when young kids come in and volunteer. Did you want to add anything? Because you had a lot of the younger boys that came in to work with you.
Yeah, they were actually really good. I would have hired some of them. Because I don't know, they helped us a lot with Alligator Alley, and they were just like really, you just kind of tell them what to do, and they did a great job, so. We got really lucky with good volunteers that day. Not that everybody else isn't fantastic, but there's some people that stand above everybody else, obviously, so.
And I believe a couple of them, they were doing it for service hours for school. So again, any Alvern students, Pelham students, any students that are, if you have kids that need to get service hours in for school, this is a really good way. We have a couple more pickups, coming up, so.
Always happy to see volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We do it, we do quite a bit of it, but we love to see volunteers to help out, because we do have a whole, more than just Benson Park to maintain.
Yeah.
We actually have over 50 acres of parks and lawns that we maintain every week, along with all the roads. So it gets pretty daunting some days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
I can
Oh, with
imagine.
90 people, you could probably do the whole cleanup
I know.
over there.
Yeah.
We-
Take that
Well,
off your
one
plate.
time we did have Southern New Hampshire University, we had the sorority and fraternity, they came in on a bus, and
Really?
that was the best day ever.
I can imagine.
I bet.
They were like, we'll do whatever you want us to do. We're like, okay. And then they had a nice lunch and hopped back on the bus and went back. And the feedback that I got from the young lady that had set it all up, she said, everybody said that was the best, volunteer. Every year they do something for different organizations. She goes, that was the best. Everybody really had a great time and enjoyed it. So if any other colleges want to send some students.
And we've had, because we've been coordinating our cleanup days with you as well. We've had quite the turnout, and yeah, last month it was great. The weather was nicer. It was a little less hot
Yes.
than the month prior. So looking forward to this weekend's.
Yes. So, moving on, I'm gonna move on to new business. So, I think I corrected myself. I'm looking at an old one that I corrected myself on this one. Anywho, so we have flower donation, $250 worth of flowers for Benson's Park Adopt a Spot members, in commemoration with the 250th birthday of the USA Centennial Celebration of the Benson's Wild Animal Farm, Smith Farm. If you're familiar, they're up on Kimball Hill Road. Best place to get flowers and vegetables. I love it there. It's a family run. His son is running it now, mostly him and his wife. And the original guy, he's still there. I call him, he's Santa. Santa. Every year, I think I have pictures for 25 years of every year getting my tree there with my kids with Santa. But we really appreciate, the flower donation. I think all of our volunteers, we did reach that goal. I know, Steve, you went up there and it was very easy. So I think I have some pictures of their flowers. Not that one.
That's not it.
That's not it. What is it? That's not it. It's your guys. Too many things up here. There they are. So they had these planters that we decided that we were going to put them out in front of the barn there. These are some flowers that they put around their Adopt a Spot. Here's mine. So just add some nice color and makes it look fresh and new. So I really appreciate that.
Lovely pop.
Yep, a little pop. And then, let's see, we also had a inquiry from Integra Bioscience. Possible date is this fall, 9/18, I guess it's Around the World Cleanup Day. So they've come in the past, their company comes and they'll do whatever we need, brush cutting or anything. So thank you again for Integra to come with your company, and do some volunteer work to make the park more beautiful. So now we'll move on to the calendar. We have, moving on, I wish I had this in the calendar. Go back to the main page. to show-
We've got a couple of things under new business on the agenda.
Oh.
A tree donation.
Oh, I forgot that one. Okay. Yes, we have a tree donation, which I was gonna talk to you about. Again, for tree donations, we possibly will be doing it this fall. We'll, be in contact with the, DPW. It's $1,200 for the tree, and that includes, planting the tree and care for up to a year.
Correct.
And we had a tree last year. It looks great. It's right around the playground. I met with her, and I think I had emailed you, but I know you've been out. But she's looking to do that, this fall. So if anybody's interested, would like to, do a tree donation, now's the time to set that up. And what you would do is first, give me a call. We'll set up a time to go over to the park, show some areas that, might be, good for a tree. Then I'll meet with, the DPW to make sure that that site is a good location, and what particular tree would be good for that area, because some trees just don't grow well
In certain areas.
certain areas.
Correct.
Especially if there's a lot of rock there and do that.
Be like that.
So anyways, if anybody else is interested in that, give us a call. Let's see what else. Did I have anything else?
The August volunteer lunch donation, Amy Campbell. Troop will host the August cleanup.
I'm looking at my wrong one. Okay. Let me go back to my thing on here. Yes, Amy Campbell, here we are.
Girl Scout
Flower
troop?
Yep, so we have bioscience, we already talked about the trash, the tree donation, it's supposed to be Mandy. August volunteer luncheon, we have a donation from Amy Campbell, troop, I didn't put her troop number, but they're gonna host the August cleanup. I also wanted to, this kinda came this week, I wanna thank, we have another donation coming up for this upcoming volunteer pickup. They're gonna be delivering pizzas, so that will be coming in, I think I had
Said Rocco's?
Rocco's Pizza, yep. They're gonna be coming and donating various different pizzas for all of our volunteers. And I have to say, the manager over at Rocco's is great. He's such a friendly person and was so happy to donate the pizzas, you know, for all the volunteers. So thank you, Rocco's Pizza. And I think
That's it. Now you can
was
go
it.
to calendar.
Now I can go to calendar. I'm like looking at this one. Must be an old one. All right, so now we're gonna move on to calendar. So we have the Benson's Park Centennial Historical Marker Unveiling Walking Tour, which will be Saturday, July 25th at 10 a.m. Rain date will be Sunday, and I put July 16th, but it's July 26th. I don't know why I did that. I must have been really tired. And then I also have the next Benson's Advisory Board meeting, which will be on August 20th, 7 p.m. here at Hudson Cable Television. And then our next volunteer cleanup will be August 15th from 9 to 2. Lunch will be provided, again, from Amy Campbell, her Girl Scout troop. There is one more event that I wanted to talk about, which I was hoping that Natalie was gonna be here. But we have a concert that we're gonna be having that's coming up on Thursday, the 23rd. I believe it's at 6:30. And it'll be down at the, what is it, the
Amphitheater.
amphitheater. What is the name of the band? For some reason I can't
Check my
think of
email.
it.
Because I volunteered to be.
Yankee Brass.
Yeah.
Yankee
Yankee
Brass
Brass.
Band, which I was hoping I would have her flyer to throw up, but I didn't take a picture. But anyways, so the Yankee Brass Band, if it is raining, it'll be at the Hudson Memorial School. This is gonna be a great concert. I'm really excited. For anybody that knows, the music teacher over at Hudson Memorial, he is going to be playing in the band, so it's very exciting. Anybody else have any other business marks? Things they wanted to talk about?
I have some Friends of Hudson Dog Park news if you'd
Okay,
like.
yep.
Quick update, two of our members resigned. Stephanie Urschel, our president, moved to Florida, and
Oh, boy.
we wish her the best down there. I hope it's not too hot. And then Amanda, one of our board members, both resigned for personal reasons. So we do have new board members that were elected in, sworn in yesterday. Officially, I am now the president of Friends of Hudson
Oh,
Dog Park.
Congratulations.
So we had to replace treasurer, and treasurer is now Becky Nickerson, and our new board director is Maria Esposito. So we're really happy to be bringing them on. They've been, great volunteers during cleanup days with us as well, and just overall great community members. The FHDP will be having a table at Old Homestay next month. So come by, say hi,
Great.
pet some dogs, and hopefully we'll have lots of dogs popping through. Our mowing schedule is being updated starting August 1st. Regis Landscaping will be coming through to mow, so volunteers no longer will be taking care of that bi-weekly. So
Thank you, Regis, that's,
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Regis.
I've been sweating my butt off every other week. It's like you get up super early and you're like, I gotta go rip a mower, and hope you don't hit a tennis ball. Like, let me tell you. And those were some of the updates just from the dog park. Other than that, of course, we have cleanup day on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I did want to just ask if anybody's going about in the general area and cleaning up grass, could they swing by around the fence of the dog park over on this side where we are here by this parking lot? It's just the grass has been getting really high up on this end. And, I don't know if anyone's going to be doing that. If you could, that'd be really
For
awesome.
mowing?
For like, yeah, if somebody's coming by during, I don't know if you're doing it during cleanup day on Saturday or if whenever they're coming through clearing some of the grass in this area, if they could just swing and hit that.
Inside the fence or outside?
Outside.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah, because we've been taking care of inside, but just the outside was getting real long. Actually, it's been kind of nice. There are some lovely wildflowers growing in there. It always breaks my heart to cut them down, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So, that's it for the dog park.
Well, it sounds like you guys are continuing to keep moving on and getting things going, and
Yes. Oh, and speaking of moving on, our next public board meeting will be October 14th, right here in this room, 7:30 p.m.
Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Does anybody else have any other business that they wanted to touch base on? All right.
Who would like to make a motion to adjourn?
Yes. Anybody like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, adjournment at 8:20 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for listening.